and massage this, right? Like you're giving it pleasure. Then tap the back, right? Yo, welcome back to Urban Street 420. I'm your host, 40. Today we're going to learn how to wash or clean our ABV. What is ABV? Already been vaped, right? Or AVB, already vaped bud. I don't know which way I'm going, yo. Either way, whether you're using ABV or AVB, it's the same thing. It's the leftover material after you vaporize, right? Whether you're using a manual vape, an electric vape, a ball vape, it doesn't matter. None of them are efficient enough to pull all the goodies out of this. So you should be saving your ABV or AVB to use in edibles, either making cookies, cakes, brownies, you name it, whatever you want. You're probably asking yourself, why should I wash or clean my ABV? The reality is there's a couple reasons. Number one, the flavor. If you've ever cooked with ABV before, making canna butter or including it in a recipe, the flavor of it may not be to your liking, right? By washing it, you are going to improve the flavor dramatically, right? What else? For example, if we combust it in here, in any of our sessions, we combust it a little bit, there may be some carcinogens in here. By washing it, we help remove that, right? Also, ABV can be difficult on some people's digestive systems. So by washing it, we help improve or eliminate that side effect, right? What do you need to do this? Number one, obviously you need a jar or a container where you could put the ABV in because we're gonna fill this with water. You're also gonna need a rubber band and a cheesecloth. Now the cheesecloth has to fit over the bottle, but I'm gonna show you guys. Come on over here, let's get started, baby. All right, so we're closer. I've got the jar right here, I've got the rubber band, and I've got a cheesecloth. Now mind you, the other thing you're gonna need is patience because this is going to take roughly a week. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're gonna open this container. Obviously, you're not going to want to do this with barely any ABV because of the amount of time this takes. All we're going to do is fill this with water. And when I say fill it with water, not necessarily, you don't want to fill the whole thing. You want to just cover it enough of water, then cover this and shake it, right? Once it all gets wet, you can reopen the jar right now and we can add more water. If we had kept adding water before shaking, what would have happened is the herb would have fallen out because it was so light, it was going to go to the top. We had to get it wet. So next thing you're going to do after you fill this with water, you'll notice it's relatively full. I'm going to shake this up. And after I shake this up, I'm going to go ahead and take the top off, right? And after I take the top off, let me see if I can do this here. Let's move the camera, right? Or that's still in view, I think. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take this cheesecloth and I'm going to put it over the top. Then I'm going to turn this rubber band because I know that if I go like this, it should go ahead and fit snugly and not fall off. And now what I can do is turn this upside down and we should be able to drain the water out, right? Now this might take a little bit of time. You might have to shake it to get some of that water out. But the idea is we're getting rid of all that water. All right, by banging it up and down like this, I was able to get much more of the water out. I'll drop this down to the bottom right here. We'll take the rubber band off. We'll take the cheesecloth off. You might lose some on the cheesecloth, up to you if you're trying to save it. I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to wash this off. We'll use this cheesecloth again tomorrow. And again, I wash these, right? I cut them and I wash them because I use them for a lot of different straining things in regards to cannabis. Anyways, so we're going to put this down. Let's go ahead and turn this off for a second and I'll turn it back on. All right, filling it up with water. And then once you've done this, you don't have to shake the water because the herb is already wet. We're going to close this up. We're going to give it a good shake. And now we're going to leave this until tomorrow and we are going to do the same thing twice tomorrow. I'll see you guys in a couple days where I'll shake this again and let's look at the color of the water. All right, so it's Thursday. I've probably cleaned this 6 times, 7 times, something like that. I thought I would clean it again right now. We are getting closer, right? I wanted to show you the difference. I've got the cheesecloth right here, which I put on top of this so it dries. I still have the rubber band. I put a cup in the sink so we could see what color the liquid is coming out of this, because that's going to tell you when this is done, right? So I'm going to take this off. I'll put the cheesecloth on, right? And then I'll go ahead and I'll twist up the rubber band, put this over to make sure it's snug and tight. Obviously, if this is not snug, right, what happens? When you turn this over, everything is going to come out. So I'm going to do this over the glass so you can see what color the liquid is. in the glass, right? And you have to shake this or hit the bottom right here to force everything down so you can do this. And I'm assuming it's because this gets all clogged, the cheesecloth, right? So I'm gonna keep doing this. If you feel it move because you felt the rubber band move, just double check, right? All right, so I'm going to turn this over and I'm just going to show you the liquid. Look how dramatically different this is in color. What we're doing is we're trying to see this clear so it still looks like regular water. So it's going to take a couple more days. It's been 4 days. It might take 7, it might take 5, it might take 10. Let's see. But I wanted to show you the progress, and again, this is the progress. So it's getting clear, it's just not there yet. I'll see you guys in a couple days when this is more clear. We'll clean it out again, and I'll see you guys then, baby. So it's day 9. I've drained the jar already today. Let's go ahead and do it again, and then we're going to dry the cannabis. I've got the cheesecloth right here. Let's go ahead and put this on. I will make sure that the rubber band goes on double. We'll put this over here. I'm going to turn this upside down. I do have an empty glass in the sink so you can see what it looks like, right? We're going to turn this upside down, and right away you're going to notice that the water is clear, right? So to get all this water out, the best bet is to hold the jar like so and massage this, right? Like you're giving it pleasure. Then tap the back, right? Massage here. I mean, this is very familiar for some of us, right? Now, probably we could have went another day or two, by the way, but I have stuff lined up this week. Cannabis is coming up this weekend, so I decided to stop it now. We might have went another day or two to make the water even a little bit more clear, but I think it's good to go. Once we've gotten the majority of the water out, we can tap the top of this, right? Let me just show you what the water looks like. I know you remember what the water looked like in the beginning. Compared to this, dramatic, right? Let's dump this out. I'm going to open this take this rubber band off. And let's move some things around instead of moving the camera. I'm just going to bring, this is a cookie sheet with some parchment paper on it. I'm going to take the cheesecloth off and let's dump this here now on this. I'm going to grab a spoon so we can pull out anything extra that was in there, more or less. Next, after we get this out, we should try to create an even layer here, like we're just going to move this around so it's not as thick, right? This will let it dry faster. I've also got the oven on right now at the lowest setting, which is like 60 degrees Celsius on mine. But your oven, probably the lowest setting will be 150 degrees Fahrenheit. If that's the case, put it to that or whatever the lowest temperature in your oven is, right? Let's take this bad boy out. All right, so it's out of the oven, it's on the stove. We're gonna create like a little funnel right here by pinching the edge. Then we're gonna pick this up, try to bring everything into the center, right? And we are going to try to not make too big of a mess here, which, you know, that means we're probably gonna make a mess. But, I mean, this is unbelievable. I cannot believe we didn't make a massive mess. So, check this out, right? Let's move the camera back and we'll give it a sniff. So 60 degrees wasn't hot enough for my taste, so I bumped up the temp to 100 degrees to dry this out faster. After about 20 minutes, I took it out of the oven, and using my hand, I just picked it up, and it's dry to the touch, which is important, right? If it's not dry to the touch and you store it, whether you store it outside of the fridge or in the fridge, etc., you could be inviting mold. Now, I'm going to use this ABV tomorrow to make canna butter, so I don't have to worry about that so much. But again, if you are going to be storing this for any set period of time, make sure it's fully dry, right? And you could do that by leaving it longer in the oven if you need to, right? Let's go ahead and give this a smell, right? The first thing you're going to notice is this is not offensive anymore. In fact, this smells like a green herb. It doesn't smell like cannabis. It doesn't smell like parsley. It doesn't smell like grass. It just smells like a green herb, right? Which is crazy. Like semi-fresh green herb. Anyway, so the reality is we have removed harmful byproducts. We have removed chlorophyll. We have made this better tasting. So this is going to make a better canna butter. Stay tuned for that video. Guys, gals, everybody. Woo! I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. You know the deal, baby. Woo! If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Till next time.